It is indeed a matter of great pride and pleasure for GNA University and GNA Business School to witness the one-day international conference on business resilience and reinvention in the VUCA World 2021.
This conference will witness a collaboration and contribution of different academicians and research scholars from across different parts of the country through their research papers.
It gives me an immense pleasure to welcome you all to this first international conference today. Volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity has always remained the part of the ever-changing business world.
The editorial board has received research papers in bulk, and after the umpteen scrutiny, the team has invested both their time and energy in shortlisting and publishing the selected research papers in the conference proceedings. So I humbly request all the dignitaries to step forward for the release of the conference proceedings.
We recognize that we are resilient and we have the capacity to adapt and change irrespective of what is thrown at us. And when leaders adapt and change and role model it, it's easier for people to also do it. And as a result, I think it's important that we, in addition to paying attention to all the things that a business does, it also looks at what leaders do.
And it's great to work and communicate with brilliant researchers from all over the world, such as you. So thank you very much for the invitation. My area is brand management, and I'm going to talk about brand management in the VUCA world. 10 years ago, or 20 years ago, everything was VUCA. Why? Because people had started communicating via mobile phones, and the internet was just introduced. 3 years ago, everything was VUCA because of changes in the culture, the environmental issues, and so on and so forth. Today, everything is VUCA because of the pandemic, because we are locked in our places, and because we are trying to cope with a volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous world.
VUCA is a wonderful opportunity. Of course, as we all know, every opportunity will be a challenge. Undoubtedly, the VUCA helps each organization conceive an action plan and aligns itself with the new technological changes in order to maintain a competitive advantage by offering consumers high-performance products and services.
First of all, I would like to thank VK Ratanji and Sameer ji for providing us the opportunity. As my fellow panelists also told that we shifted from offline to online. So with the help of technology intervention, we were able to impart that knowledge which we have never thought earlier. So it created a lot of opportunities for us. All of us are joining together now today at this platform, and I am really happy to share at this platform that the academicians, they volunteered from all the premier institutions, central, state universities, and IIMs, IITs, and they shared their details, and they were very keen to, impart knowledge among students. On the same side, a lot of students, they have raised their requirements, and we tried to map those things.
Challenges which we are facing, I think, for all of us as a country, India country with 130 population, where we are thinking that we have a demographic dividend of largest young population available, and still we are facing on other side that access and quality of education. So I think the GR, which this new education policy is proposing to enhance from 26% to 50% in this decade, I think we have faced another side with the challenges of Corona. So we have to make a lot of changes in our mindset basically. So what strategies they were followed earlier in higher education, we have to revamp all strategies, our teaching learning process, the kind of basket, the kind of opportunities which are available to the student, using of academic credit bank, using really cafeteria approach where student can pick up few courses from university, sharing of credit and transfer of credit. It has remained on paper for so many years. I think we have to bring it in the reality, multiple entry and exit which has been thought for. I think it is possible from my student can take few credit from GNA University, from Skill University, and from my university, and then he can make a basket of that credit and go for the degree purpose. I think that should be the future of higher education.
This is Professor Mark Kim from Swinburne University of Technology, which is an Australian university in Melbourne with an international branch campus in Sarawak, Malaysia, which is where I'm based. Now, before I start, I would like to give a big shout out to GNA University for inviting me to deliver this keynote. So today, I would like to share with you some practical tips for managing business in turbulent times. To make it easy for you to understand, I'll be taking a two-step approach whereby I will first share with you a business challenge, followed by a strategy that you may want to consider to address the challenge. It is important to note that not all businesses encounter all of these challenges, as some businesses, they may be more prepared than others for some challenges, and likewise, some businesses may be less prepared than others for other challenges. If any of these challenges look new to you, then it is best you take note of those challenges, just in case, as prevention is always better than cure. So sit back, relax, and keep a lookout for the challenges that you are facing, or perhaps you may want to keep an eye for a strategy that you could, use to enhance some of your responses to some of these challenges.
Thank you, GNA University Dean and other professors for this invitation. And I would like to congratulate all the organizers for hosting this event during this crisis time. As we all know that the corona crisis and COVID-19 has created problems and challenges for each one of us in different ways. Businesses are actually incurring losses all over the world these days. And we all expected that the crisis is over. Unfortunately, crisis is not yet over.
For GNA University and GNA Business School to witness this international conference. I am truly glad that this idea convinced a long time ago has finally materialized into a well-knitted reality. I express my humble and hearty token of gratitude to Dr. Justin Paul, Professor, University of Puerto Rico, PR USA, for making his benevolent virtual presence and for elaborating his acquainted views, which I am pretty certain would be a great sustenance for thought to many of us.
Truly a feeling of pride and honor for GNA University and GNA Business School to hold this international conference on business resilience and reinvention in the VUCA World 2021. I am truly thankful to the chief guest of the day, Dr. Niharika Vohra, and the keynote speakers for the day, Dr. Cleopatra from Glasgow, Scotland, Dr. Weng Marcus Lim for Malaysia, Dr. Justin Paul from Puerto Rico for taking out their valuable time and addressing this conference as a keynote speaker. I am also thankful to all the session chairmen for having chaired different technical sessions so gracefully. I also extend my gratitude to Dr. Samir Verma, Dean GNA Business School, and his team for putting in exemplary efforts and making this conference a successful event. I also thank the convener of the conference, Dr. Praveen Singh Kalsi, and co-convener Dr. Manpreet Kaur for leading the conference and concluding it at such a wonderful note. Lastly, I thank all the participants for their wonderful participation and enthusiasm through their intellectual presentation on different research topics. Thank you one and all.
Well, in the life of GNA University, this date, July 27, 2021, is going to be a forever lasting memory because we are going to remember this day with the international conference, a grand event that we have all organized. So for that, cheers to GNA Business School and GNA University.